Hello guys, welcome back. In this video, let us see one more important tool. Let's say you have your Redshift, either it may be cluster or it may be serverless workload. Now, how to connect your Redshift cluster or workload, Redshift serverless workload with serverless application building services like Lambda, SageMaker notebooks, and Cloud9. Let's say you builded Let's say you are building serverless application using services like AWS Lambda or AWS Amazon SageMaker notebooks or Cloud9. Now you have a need for these services to interact with Redshift or Amazon Redshift clusters or Redshift serverless workload. Now, by using what? By using which tool you can able to provide this interaction? You can able to provide this interaction by using API, data API. By using what? Data API, you can able to provide interaction to Redshift. That is, whenever you are building your serverless applications using any one of the service in AWS, and if you want to allow the interaction to those applications to Redshift without managing persistent connections, then choose this data API. So what is this data API, sir? This data API is a powerful tool that simplifies data access, ingest, and egress from Amazon Redshift. Let's detail about this. That is, how can we provide interaction between Lambda and Redshift? That means what we are doing. Indirectly, we are providing a communication between our one of the programming language which is present in Lambda with Redshift. That is nothing but if you want to load data into Redshift using programming languages, then choose this Amazon Redshift Data API. Or else if you want to load data using CLI, then choose this data API to load your data to Redshift. Now, if you want to get data from collect data from Redshift to any one of the application, serverless application that you build, then choose this Amazon Redshift Data API. By using this data API, can I able to execute SQL commands against my Redshift cluster? Yes, you can able to execute your SQL commands against your Redshift cluster by calling a secure API endpoint. This secure API endpoint is provided by data API. So you can able to run SQL commands against Redshift cluster by using this data API, where this data API will provide you a secure API endpoint for you. By using that endpoint, you can able to do your SQL commands. Can I able to perform select command? Yes, you can able to perform select command. And can I able to perform insert command? Yes, you can able to perform insert command also. Can I able to delete? Yes, you can able to perform delete command also. Can I able to update? Yes, you can able to update also. So you can use any of the SQL commands against your Redshift cluster by calling a secure API endpoint provided by data API. Now the question is, how can we able to provide credentials for this data API? We can able to provide credentials for data API either by storing those credentials in AWS Secret Manager or temporary database credentials. So two ways are there. The data API uses either credentials stored in AWS Secret Manager or temporary database credentials. You even don't need to provide a password in API calls in either authorization method. So How to monitor? How to monitor these data API events which are happened for Redshift using Amazon Event Bridge. Using Amazon Event Bridge, you can monitor the data API events which are happened for Amazon Redshift. Let's imagine, let's see where do we use this data API in ETL pipeline. So for this, let's imagine you have an ETL pipeline where ETL stands for extract, transform, and load. So in that pipeline, that extracts data from external API and transform that and load that data into Amazon Redshift using data API. So let's see in the process how we use this data API. So while data injection, we use this data API to inject data into Redshift. While data transformation, we need to execute SQL transformation queries, right? So for that also we use data API. So for serverless applications, we use data API with serverless applications like Lambda, SageMaker, Notebook, and Cloud9. We don't even need to manage persistent connection as well if we use this data API. And in event bridge applications, like whenever data API simplifies data access for event bridge applications, triggering ETL process based on events. Then this data API simplifies data access for event based driven applications. So even this data API will runs on asynchronous execution. It means you can able to retrieve your query. So whatever the query result that is stored for 24 hours, that is stored for 24 hours. So you can even retrieve them later as well. The query results, you can able to retrieve them later as well because this data API executes in asynchronous execution. You can able to retrieve the data after 24 hours as well. So this is all about data API powerful tool, that is Amazon Redshift Data API powerful tool. So I hope you understood this video and you understood the knowledge regarding data API. Hope this content is understanding to you. If you feel this video is contentful, then please like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get the latest updates. See you back in the next video. Until then, bye bye guys. Thanks for watching again.